Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reaction and this is bat bombs more terrifying than atomic bombs. Okay, again this is like mobile video recording because I'm not in my studio. Like I said in the previous videos that sometimes that is like scheduling is really hard because I do have a day job. I don't know how to call it. It's a job. There's no such thing as day. I don't clock in hours. But sometimes I'm more busy, right? I have to go to sites, construction site and things like that. It's just like too late. Sometimes I'm not in my studio. So sometimes I say I'm going to make a video, then I can't. And people say, you said you're going to make a video, why are you lying and all that. But sometimes it's just like scheduling issue. And I found out that maybe you can make a video from mobile. And I don't know, I have like Google Pixel, so maybe it's like good enough. I don't know. So if you don't like this format, comment down, and I guess I'll just do it whenever I'm in studio. But this way I can basically make more videos. And I don't know, I think sound is good enough. I don't know. Sometimes I don't hear echo, but people still say like there's an echo and things like that whenever like there might be an issue. So I don't know, if you find problems, comment down. Yeah, that's what it's one. This was about Fat Electrician. Obviously Fat Electrician is great for any military related situations. And it's something called bat bombs. Is this just a name or it literal bats are involved? Because that's okay, first of all, like gangster series that I just recently watched as well. There was a latest video and many others. Then there is like something like, oh, then it's this incident. Okay, that's great as well. And then like some weird advanced weapons, some weird things, and then here bat bombs. I love this channel, right? I hope this channel just keeps going, makes become even bigger, right? And do more shit like this. I don't hear this anywhere, not in Google News or whatever, like those notification news that you get, or not in any YouTube videos or anything. Fat Electrician is that good, and I guess he was military as people told me, so he might have some inside information that he's like remembering and making this video. But these are some insane things, so let's go.
Today we're talking about the only animal-based weapon of mass destruction ever conceived. Ladies and gentlemen, America's bat bomb.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
As many of you are probably aware, at the end of World War II, America was looking for a new super weapon that could prematurely end the war. Option A was always the atomic bomb. Option B was, well, that was also the atomic bomb. But option C involved 1 million free-tailed Mexican bats and napalm. No, I'm not making this up. I read the entire book to get ready for this video. Okay, here's the deal. It's not really a bomb. It's a giant bird cage that looks like a bomb.
So there are bats and there are napalm? So bats gonna have napalm in them and they're just all gonna burn down? Fuck bats, I guess. Is that what the thing is here? I don't know. Okay.
And inside of each one of these cages was 1,040 free-tailed Mexican bats that had a napalm incendiary device superglued to their chest that was rigged to go off with a timer. The idea was to do a bombing run at dawn, releasing a bunch of these canisters. After being released, they would travel down several thousand feet before deploying a parachute. This would both slow down the cage and open it so all the bats could fly away. And because...
Is it because bats have echo radar? Because why bats? Why not pigeons? Why not fucking crows? People use pigeons for like messaging and they're very fucking accurate. Why bats? I'm guessing it's because of echo radar and you can do shit at night. Is that what the reason is?
As they were doing this bombing run at dawn, all the bats would immediately try to find somewhere to roost for the day so they could go to bed. And since they're bats, that's always going to be some dark, hard-to-reach nook or cranny like an attic, and given that Japan was made pretty much exclusively out of wood and paper at that point in time, presented an enormous issue in 2 hours when those bats would burst into flames and presumably light an entire city on fire. Bah! Does this hurt the bat? Bah! Yes, this hurts the bat, okay? Just don't tell PETA. I don't need them coming after me with their frail, anemic wrath. I mean, realistically, they're gonna find this video anyways, because one of them's gonna be Googling bath bombs. Google's gonna be like, oh, did you mean bat bombs? And they watch my video. Now it's demonetized, so we're gonna have to have a sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this...
Don't think that's how demonetization work, right? I mean, people can report shit, but either it's like the system basically mistakes something, or reviewer basically really believes that this is problematic based on what they watch. Now in theory this is kind of true, but I think sometimes system just makes a mistake. Reviewer, like there are lots of videos to review, they just don't care and just like, oh, so it's a problematic just with a glance or a title. He's gonna realize it's a military channel, there's bad bombs, or fuck it, just they're never gonna back down. If you appeal it again, they are like, okay, they'll be at the fault if they admit that they were wrong. So they're just not gonna do it unless a YouTuber is big enough, which I think he is, and causes issue on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he's not going to do that for just video. So, and Peter, what the fuck is Peter to come after him? He's not the reason behind bad bombs. And people are really asking, oh, wait a minute, does this hurt bats? They have napalm involved. What do you think? When has ever a sentence napalm was involved and nobody got hurt? When was that?
This video is brought to you by JX Tactical, makers of my personal favorite holster, their trademarked Fat Guy holster. It allows you to carry a firearm and have a little bit extra room for tactical fluff. Anyways, back to these bat bombs. Now, I think we can all agree that this idea is so fucking stupid that it's genius, so who is the madman that came up with it? Ladies and gentlemen, a dentist and part-time inventor from Pennsylvania by the name of Lytle S. Adams. A man whose other inventions included a fried chicken vending machine and a way to pick up mail by plane without having to land the plane. So clearly, things are starting to add up. In January of 1942, he would write a letter to the White House, and let me tell you, it is one of the letters of all time. It opens up pretty strong with, and I quote, "Shall the sun set quickly over the land of the rising sun, with a dawn visit at a convenient time in an appropriate way." He then goes on to, in detail, explain that bats are the lowest form of life in the animal kingdom, and that he is thoroughly convinced that they were placed on Earth by God to help America win World War II with a bat bomb. So, clearly...
Okay, I don't think that's like bats are like in ecosystem is really important, right? I'm pretty sure otherwise we would have killed them long ago because of all the fucking virus and disease. That is our fault, obviously, not blaming the bat. But there's no way in hell that's the case. And second of all, what the fuck was that plane thing? Pick up mail, I thought drop, okay, makes sense, like those dying light package type of shit, they just drop it, oh look at that. Pick up, imagine one of them just get hanged in some kind of like fucking building or something, just woof, exploding in some kind of like a fucking place or something, school or something, and there you go in the papers. And also that whole thing, right? Something is so stupid, it's genius. Similar thing I think happened in Byzantium with the napalm, right? Somebody thought, oh wait a minute, should we put a fucking flamethrower in our wooden boards? And people are like, oh that is so stupid, and probably just emperor like, yeah but stupid, that would work. And they're just like, yeah it worked. It was insanely powerful. And it was a monopoly basically to stop anybody crossing that channel.
A well-balanced individual. I mean, we're talking about manifest destiny for fucking bats, for Christ's sake. In the letter, he then goes on to in detail explain why this is such a good idea. Bats are faster than birds. They can carry twice their weight. You can throw them in the fucking fridge so that they go into hibernation, and that'd be a really convenient time to strap a bomb to them. You know, awesome stuff. I think the point I'm trying to get to is there's no way in hell this letter is making it through the screening process at the White House to make it to the president, right? Wrong. Apparently this guy knows Eleanor Roosevelt, mails the letter directly to her, she gives it to FDR, and FDR fucking loves it. He immediately forwards the letter to his military generals with a note of his own that says, and I quote, "This man is not a nut. It's a perfectly wild idea that we need to look into." And that's it. The president said we're doing it. We're fucking doing it. America's building a bat bomb because a dentist in Pennsylvania said so.
Yeah, there was those days, right, when president says something is gonna happen. Nowadays that's not the case, ever. Right? President says something, the Congress is like, slow down there, fucker, and that's it. Military is not going to take it seriously. But yeah, that was those time. Hold up there, Sonny.
All right, fast forward like a year and a half, they figured out how to make the bomb itself. They figured out that they're going to use the Mexican free-tailed bat because it's very fast and very strong. They figured out that they're going to use napalm instead of white phosphorus. They've figured out how to attach the incendiary device to the bat itself. All that's left to do is to test it. And on May 15th, 1943, that's exactly what they're going to do. Needless to say, everybody that knows about it's really excited. All the bigwigs are showing up. There was even a Marine Corps General, Louis DeHaven, that showed up unannounced and uninvited because, well, he's a Marine and he heard that somebody was going to be blowing shit up with bats, and that's just what Marines are into. So they start the first test. They're going to drop 250 bats with nothing attached to them just to see how the bats react to falling out of an airplane. So the bomb drops, the canister's open, the bats take off. They go like 20 miles to some ranch that's near the airfield. They're everywhere. They're in this guy's barn, they're in his attic, they're in his hay. The bat bomb worked perfect. Okay, so test number 2. Now they're going to strap the incendiary devices to the bats, but they're going to de-weaponize them just to see how the bats behave when they're carrying their own body weight worth of explosives. So again, they drop the bomb, the canister's open, the bats take off, but they don't go nearly as far because they're over-encumbered. Instead, they decide to just infest everything on the airfield. They're in the barracks, they're in the airplane hangars, they're underneath the general's car. And then 15 minutes later, they realize that they forgot to de-weaponize them. The bats blow up and burn the entire...
What? What? the fuck? You kidding me, right? First, what does that de-weaponize or whatever that shit is? Don't you have to load the ammo or whatever napalm in it later? Or they just come with napalm, you have to take it out and they just forget. Like somebody just like, oh okay, I guess we are arming it and just put it real one, communication fucking error. How do you make this kind of a fucking mistake? That napalm, man, that shit burns so hot, it's just like ridiculous. So how many people got injured? This is some bullshit, I'm not gonna lie. And obviously like it's their weight, right? How the bat's gonna do anything with it? And this is insane, like it's like this is the whole reason mustard gas was like ineffective, because you don't know where it's gonna go. Wind's gonna blow your side and you're fucked. Trusting an animal, a bird, whatever, right? Trusting a bird to basically deliver a fucking napalm is very risky. What if you get hurt, right? I'm guessing they're gonna drop through the plane, but what if somebody like civilian, somebody else get hurt? I guess around this time there was no care for it, right? They were trying to attack civilians, right? It's like Japan, World War II type of thing. I don't know. War crimes don't exist, I guess, during the World War.
Fucking place to the ground. So the entire army chain of command that's been in control of this project the entire time freaks out. They decide they're going to terminate the whole.
Okay, no, YouTube, don't go crazy. I meant during the Japanese-American war style. Of course, war crimes exist during world wars. I mean, it's like fucking Hall of Fame #1 war crimes, alright? I'm talking about like Japanese-American fight when like Americans were bombing Japan. They were bombing civilian areas as well, right? I mean, that's yeah.
The whole thing, because obviously it doesn't work. And that's when that Marine Corps general that wasn't even invited, General Lewis McCaven, shows up as like, no, it worked perfect. You dumbasses just forgot to de-weaponize the bats. If you don't want it, the Marine Corps is going to take it over because this shit's awesome. And that's pretty much exactly what happens. The United States Marine Corps takes over the entire project and it becomes known as Project X-Ray. Why'd they call it Project X-Ray? I have no fucking idea, and neither does anybody else. I mean, to be fair, we all knew the Marines were going to be in...
Because of that echolocation of the bats, it's like invisible, so it's like X-ray. I don't fucking know. Somebody told me in the comments that all the code names were deliberately, wrong so people can figure shit out. So I guess it makes sense in that way, right? It has to be just close enough, but not really. So X-rays, echo, kind of the same shit type of thing. Both are invisible. So fuck it, that kind of thing, right? It's just insane, man. Marine, of course, Marine took it, right? All they do is like over the sea type of thing or close to the sea type of thing. What sea is gonna catch fire if something goes wrong? Who gives
charge of this at some point. I mean, their entire life motto is it's not stupid if it works, and that's exactly what this project is as a whole. So the Marines went ahead and continued testing. They ended up testing it in a mock Japanese village at Dugway Proving Ground, and what they discovered was that the average incendiary bombing run would light about 400 fires. The average bat bombing run would light about 4,700 fires, meaning that the bat bombs were 12 times more effective than a regular incendiary bomb. Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think most of you are picking up what I'm putting down. Being 12 times more effective than regular incendiary bombs means that the bat bomb is one of the most effective and most deadly weapons of mass destruction ever created. And I know that sounds stupid, but I promise you it's true. If you were to ask most people what the deadliest...
I know what he's gonna say, but I'm just gonna like understand. Bombing runs where like bombers basically throw like tons of bombs at once and just levels the place over and over again. This shit would do that 12 times more. So I think the destruction will be way too crazy. It's like if somebody's bombing the city like this, more than half of the city would be fucked. Right? That's how damage would be. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Like bombers are like one of the craziest damage you can do. I remember watching the World War II sound effect video way long ago. It's one of the it's one of the most views get type of video on my channel, I think, like second or third most. In that I remember like just hearing those brrr, like multiple bombers coming sound, and that just gives me like the whole image like how fucked up that is. Now imagine bat bombs, and this is like fucking Dracula shit, right? Imagine you're getting attacked, like planes throw bombs and it's fucking bats are flying everywhere, burning everything down.
The biggest bombing run of all time was, guaranteed they would probably guess Hiroshima or Nagasaki. It's a great guess. It's the only time the atomic bomb's ever been used, and it was very deadly. But it was not the deadliest. The deadliest bombing run was done on March 9th, 1945, when America firebombed Japan. More people died from that bombing run than Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. and that was done with regular incendiary bombs. So you can imagine what would happen if bat bombs were dropped, which are theoretically 12 times more effective. It would have been absolutely catastrophic. I realize that we're getting oddly serious and I apologize, but it absolutely blows my mind that in the biggest military conflict the world has ever seen, in the search for a super weapon, you had a bunch of scientists, the most brilliant minds in the world, that figured out how to split an atom in half, breaking chemical bonds, releasing an immense amount of energy and radiation and destructive force. And then you have the Marines that are like, I need a bomb-shaped colander, 1,000 bats, and some jungle jelly, and somehow the Marines managed to be more deadly. It makes no fucking sense. It's making me question everything, because my entire life I thought Batman was kind of...
I mean, they're not more deadly technically, right? Bomber can throw 3 nuclear heads if it wants at once and literally level the entire city, which they didn't want to because they just want to send a message. Technically, nuclear bombs are better than the fucking bat bombs. It's just that they didn't use it that way, because why would they, right? I mean, they could have like dropped 4 or 5 bombs at once just from one bomber, right? At distance, right? Basically, carpet bombing nuclear bombs would level the whole fucking city if they wanted to. Well, that's not the thing they were doing. But yeah, using nature into your advantage is not a new thing, so it kind of makes sense.
It's kind of a bitch for being scared of bats. Like, just grow a pair, grab a tennis racket, start Babe Ruth in those motherfuckers, and move on with your life. But no, as it turns out, Batman was right. Bats are absolutely terrifying, and it's all because some dentist taught the Marines how to turn them.
All the diseases tells me the whole world is scared of bats, especially with the COVID and shit and all the COVID related diseases. Lots of them came from fucking bat, right? So yeah, everybody probably, if I see a bat in a cave, I'm running, right? That's my mindset has become. People go out to zoos and things just to look at things. Oh, look at that bat. I'm running a different way, because fuck that, nowhere near that shit. I'm not gonna be the first patient 0 or whatever, or patient even 1, not even 0, when something new fucking comes out, right? So that shit is not happening. Well, yeah, there you go.
Into a WMD, and I have no idea how to end this video. So I guess if you made it this far down this weird history rabbit hole, thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
I mean, why would that be? It's like one of the, yeah. So seriously, this whole bat bomb thing is insane, but working nature towards what you want is not something new, but it's fucking insane. It works. But this is like, I mean, imagine that Dracula movie shit, where like some evil comes and bats are just swarming the sky in high numbers. It's not just damage, it's like psychological warfare. People that basically survives that would have such a psychological damage, it's like they might as well be dead at that point. Yeah, there you go. Alright, people, that was bat bombs, more terrifying than atomic bombs. Yeah, kinda. Just seeing the bats alone, it's the case. And I don't think Batman were like scared, something like that. He just going through bad time and he dropped in a dark place, cave or something, and he just saw a lot of bats when he was kids. Like, people sort of see cockroaches when they're kids and they become like phobia about them. When they see cockroaches, they run away. So it's not that hard, but yeah. Alright, this was from my mobile. Like I said, if this is really an issue, comment down, but I feel like this way I can make more videos, and I think like I'm clear enough. Like, I think you can hear it what I'm saying, but I don't know. If this is too much annoying at a point that you don't want to watch it, comment down and I'll stop making this. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time.